consolidate Sarawak's local government legislation and improve provisions relating to them. This ordinance may be referred as the Local Authorities Ordinance 1996 and shall take effect on the date set by Minister by notice in the Gazette. The ordinance covers the formulation of any local authority, its composition and organization, as well as the role of councillors as policymakers and officials as implementers in the day-to-day operation of any local authority. It also impressed financial planning for the local authority as the whole, including accounting and auditing. This ordinance may be referred to as the Local Authorities Ordinance 1996, and it will become into force the date indicated by the Minister in the Gazette notice. The Local Authorities Ordinance 1996 limits the authority of local Sarawak Local Authority, which are part of the state government's conservation system.
We present about the main provision in the local authority ordination. Firstly is provision for erecting building on untitled land or reserve land. In the case of building occurred on any land which is not held under a separated document or title or land reserved for a public purpose and not occupied by the federal or state government, the local authority may impose the rate referred to in section 61 open the annual rateable value of all such as building and the occupier of such as buildings be able to pay the said rate. This part should apply to any rates imposed under subsection aspect that in the application there are reference to a holding building owner occupier of a building. Second is provision of reference bin. The local authority should supply to the owner of any premise which in its area of jurisdiction such a number of reference bin, specification and quality as the local authority should determine. The owner of any premise supplied with the reference bin should pay to the local authority the cost therefore which if not paid may be recovered by the local authority as a civil debit in such a manner as may be provided in the ordination. Without prejudice, the local authority may by notes in writing require the owner of any premise to provide construction at the expenses of the owner and which in such a period as may be specified in the notes reference bin which sole comfort to the such as specification as the local authority may require to be placed in operation location which in the premise of the owner as the local authority fit for the deposit of referred and waste for those premise. Lastly is provision of public defense facilities. The local authority may provide, acquire, construction and maintain defense facilities referred to in this bylaw as public defense facilities for the deposit. Treatments as is may considered necessary and may make available the facilities to the any person open pay for of any fee as may be precise. The local authority may refuse to accept any reference board to any public defense facilities without assign any reason such as discretion or kind open such treat and condition as it any considered necessary. For the purpose of this bylaw, public defense facilities refer to a facility include lands field sites established by the local authority or by any person acquired by the local authority for the storage, treatment, deposits, waste collected by the local authority to be deposits there with the permission under the direction of the local authority.
Financial functions. Sarawak Ordinance plays important function in financial matters such as taking and holding property as well as enjoying fixed and movable property. Not only that, this ordinance also functions within the ability to assign, on purchase, add value, rent, place, transfer or dispose of any fixed and movable property assigned or onto a corporation subject to certain reasonable calculation conditions. This Ordinance Sarawak plays a role in carrying out the management of any grants given or loans and advance made to the Council by the Malaysian or Sarawak government. In addition, it also serves to maintain the amount of money allocated from time to time, as well as matters such as donations, gift, and also the contribution from any source given to the council. Next, not only functions in the matter as mentioned above, but the ordinance also responsible for opening and maintaining the accounts with any legal bank or the other financial institution.
I will continue with the power of Ordinance Sarawak that are related to the financial. The power that involved in their power is executive power, which is closely linked to finance, where each entrusted power requires the use of financial resources. Then the executive power also is exercised, where they must pay the remuneration or interest for each thing that carry out. For example, when the authorities assign tasks that need to be carried out by each corporation or eligible department, it is because to require the payment of the remuneration or benefit to them. Other than that, the power of treatment, immunization, isolation, observation and supervision, also the power that related to financial in Ordinance Sarawak. It is to aim and ensure the health of every community in a healthy and disease-free condition. Therefore, they need to provide the complete equipment for diseases prevention services to be provided by the authorities in Sarawak Ordinance. Moreover, diseases nowadays such as COVID-19 virus that contagious and require high cost for the provision of complete services such as isolation room and so on. Besides, thus, the power in financial allocation also the power of Sarawak Ordinance that closely related to the financial. This is because it requires a lot of financial resources to accommodate every human being who in trouble and needs daily resources. Also, financial provision that require to provide for anything that related to expenditure. Thus, this power will be smooth for grant and allocation in the use of resources.
In conclusion, the key provision of the Local Authority Ordinance 1996 that deal with the function and finance of the local authority. Then, under Section 131A of the Local Authorities Ordinance 1996, the principal ordinance local governments have the authority to undertake development projects on their own or in collaboration with other local governments or individuals for residential, commercial, industrial, or any other purpose that the local government deems appropriate. As a result, the proposed amendment to Section 3 of the Principal Ordinance will grant native status to all local authorities listed in the Principal Ordinance.